Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your timeless, love variant reading, where we discuss anything that wants to come up in regards to however love may either show up or not show up in your life. This could be about karmic relationships, marriage, being widowed, in a polyamorous engagement. However it wants to show up may be what will be discussed. Please remember, Aquarius, that if you're here in your Aquarius being your Sun rising and or Jupiter position, you may be in search for universal justice that this reading will provide. However, if you're here for Aquarius being in your Moon, Mercury, and or even Venus position, you may be in search of emotional redemption, in which I will ask you to check out my description box below to access my sister channel for the content that's timeless over there may be enriching for you. Also in the description box, you will find a means to book a reading of any kind, whatever you may be in search of, whether it's light aspects or shadow aspects, as well as knowing I'm a master healer, and wherever you are on this earth, I can assist you. As always, these are timeless messages. Whatever brings you here, something may be here for you. Past, present, and future energetical timelines can always be made available within a reading. And most importantly, take whatever of the reading is yours, using your discernment and leaving the rest behind. Alright, so this hiccup is coming from the Five of Wands energy, the chaos that's showing up in this reading so far. We have the World card, completion, Nine of Cups, fulfillment. We have Knight of Swords, drama, and the Empress, nourishment. Alright, well, things want to show up as them being okay. However, you're still struggling with some sort of knowledge on alchemy, knowing how the four elements show up in your life and how they pretty much help dictate how some relationships are harmonious and some relationships are chaotic. And I feel that with you lacking this knowledge, you don't know how to feel comfortable in whatever climate you're in. This could cover literally any topic of how uncomfortable you may be in your current life. Because if we were just to look at it from the astrological term here, it would make sense, all right? Whether you know your astrological chart of having knowledge of the sun rising and or moon elements that are very provocative in knowing details of how the world provides you chaos or harmony in how you show up for it. The drama that you bring to a situation of who you are, whether it's for fulfillment or if it actually brings chaos for you being a certain way to someone else's life. And this is a learning curve for you in regards to understanding alchemy. Whatever you do or do not understand about astrology doesn't reflect whether or not we can have a conversation based on the wellness of how it is that you may feel in walking around in this world or existing within this world. You don't need to know sun rising and moon and the details of the solar system and also its conspiracies, or if you know about them, or understanding full moon and new moon rituals, if the energies coming from any reader that you're listening to are resonating. You do not need to delve into it. However, if there is something being triggered within you that is asking you to become more curious, then maybe that's what I'm tapping into in you moving forward, getting the basic knowledge of sun rising and moon knowledge, for example, and having your own research based on it, your own perspective nurtured, and then taking that perspective with a new set of eyes and ears to the next reading that's general and a general collective reading from any reader. Okay, it's important now because there's a fight of war and consciousness, all right? And war and consciousness is already a very controversial thing, whether it exists or not. War on consciousness has been around for a very long time. Well, we just didn't understand that it was a war on consciousness that is actually at the battle of every situation in the timeline of history that has actually gone wrong towards and for the human species. So without further ado, we'll put the politics of that aside for a second. Just focus on the politics that we can control, which is your own. You can control your own ego. You can learn about yourself. You can learn about your interests. You can learn about why your intuition is intrigued by the information that you're listening to. And you can leave it up to yourself to validate your existence. And that's where the Empress card is coming in and asking you to take a bit more control. Rather than leaving it in the control of someone else to validate your life. I'm hearing past life research. The adventure, responsibility, expectations, the archer, biding your time, planning ahead. The ether wants you to slow down on these collective readings. If you've never gotten actually a personal reading, you need to understand what your own personal narrative is to make sense of what dramas to avoid that aren't your messages when you then reintroduce yourself to listening to general collective readings again. Someone has a hard time trying to find self-control with knowing themselves, within themselves. They're having some sort of identity issue, some sort of identity crisis, and this could easily be rectified in telling you, the person that may be affected by resonating with this message, that you already have the answers that which you seek. It requires you, however, to understand on how to pretty much intertwine modalities of meditations, focus meditation with eyes open or eyes closed, and using that lesson or those lessons within those moments to teach you more about your own alchemy, your own spirituality. There's someone who is not yet very much secure in their own selves, but are doing rituals and witchcraft of some kind to pull in here. Look at that with these hands, to pull in and call in a lover or call in a soulmate. And honestly, it's not very fair for you to expedite that if, let's say, you ignore your shadow aspects of yourself, the lessons that you have to learn on your own, and secure on your own before you confess that you want to spend 24 hours of another part of your consciousness intertwined with another person. Someone who does a lot of rituals and manipulates the energies have a hard time maybe socially reaching difficult decisions. So in their private time, they rather manipulate, do some magic in the form of, I would say, black magic, and want to convey and want to pretty much convey the message that they do intend to do well because they have the power to influence. And however, if they're putting it in the secrecy of somebody else's name, that's black magic. That's doing work upon someone that wouldn't or doesn't know or hasn't given you consent to intertwine their energy with whatever it is that you'd like to ritualize or have already ritualized. I don't like that King of Wands immediately. Again, it proves to me that there is an individual who knows better, knows exactly what it is that I just got done saying, and is convinced that they're doing it for the wellness of others, that they are knowledgeable, that they have ethereal blessing to do it, that they have never received negative consequences, that they are vengeful to be heard and validated, but that vengefulness is coming at the cost of other people, so that doesn't make you very divine in that aspect. So it would do well for this individual to be this powerful of a King of Wands energy and really do some healing. Words that aren't sounding very sexy at this time, but we need to introduce another world for you to decide whether or not the world that you're dabbling with is truly the one that you want to actually participate in. All right. This Ace of Pentacles proves to me that this King of Wands feels very gifted. Yep, the Star card. This King of Wands feels very gifted. Okay, with the Five of Swords, though, something's wrong. The chaos is there again. You can't look at your life and see the things that you're doing and feel proud of it, because there are people affected by something, and those are actually not the ones that you've put in some sort of ritual. But what's happening is, because you're dabbling in another world that the other people are not part of, it hurts you to see people that you actually love leave your life or show you lack of interest. And that's what you're not seeing is actually karma of the King Wands participating in some negative shit, negative ritual. But there's light of reason that comes forth, because whoever is your maker and whomever it is that you believe in has some serious plans for you, Aquarius. I've said months ago, that Aquarius was an energy that is having the hardest fucking time. And not too long ago, I saw that the energies of Aquarius have done a lot better. and because you have reintroduced the concept of ego, and that the ego never really knows if it's operating of light or of darkness, so it wants to play a game. If that sounds familiar, that's from my Devil series, Timeless Messages, that you can find on my channel. So in that element, we are reintroducing ourselves to know that whole entire ether operates of light and of darkness. What is wrong with the King of Wands energy is that you cannot accept your darkness. Once you accept your darkness through meditation and focused meditation here, like I mentioned before here with the Four of Cups, I strongly believe you will make sense of where you'd like your soul to travel in. Yep. Lovers. Three of Wands. Your higher self, your gods, your goddesses have a plan for you to master both light and dark, Aquarius. But you need to see that from an individual point of view of what is coming into your life, what remains in your life, and what needs to be let go of. That is your biggest problem, letting go of things. I'm hearing the color pink. That may speak to someone in some way or another. All right, we have the Fool, Strength, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Like I said, there is a need for you to understand what the difference between freedom and sovereignty is. They both have the same struggle. They both have the same lessons. But one is under the control of others, and the other one is full control of themselves. So you're being taught this over and over and over and over and over again until you understand that. Especially if you are someone who constantly finds themselves being cheated on or in a third-party element that you did not sign up for. Here's the Ego card, the Devil, and the Empress card again. It just means that this whole entire reading is about you understanding the lessons as of late, over the last year. Do you understand the difference between your own feminine and masculine energy resonating through you? Do you know what lessons they have to offer for you? Do you know what the feminine parts wants to surrender into an external masculine part? Do you understand what inner masculine energies wants to surrender in external feminine energies within yourself? And all that can be found in whatever it is, however it is you'd like to manifest and live this life out, whether it's with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a million fucking people. You have that option. However, do everything at the expense to what you can handle emotionally, because that's the true testament of time. All right. That is all that I have for you at this time, Aquarius. Is what I'm being told. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.